Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ardin Cychosz. I'm 25 years old, and at the beginning of my financial journey, I started off with roughly $1,000 to my name. And in this video, I'll be explaining how I was able to reach $100,000 within 3 years while earning less than $60,000 a year. I have this video laid out in 9 basic steps. Number 1, decide. Probably the most important step in building wealth is deciding to build wealth. Without the desire of a clear and defined goal, you are most likely not going to achieve what you want. For me, this was simply the desire to build as much wealth as possible and as fast as I possibly could. So I didn't have any figures in mind like wanting X amount of money by a certain time period, although that may be a strategy that could work for you. Number 2, persistence. Without being persistent, there is no way to build wealth. If I wasn't employed for any period of that time of that 3 years which I was working, I would have lost nearly 100% of my active income, which is the case for most people. You know, their job is the majority or all of the money they earn. Personally, I am ambitious to work extra hours, and I almost never missed a single day of work, even if I didn't feel well because of a cold or lack of sleep. Letting my employer know that I was willing to work extra hours all the time, anytime, led to me being occasionally offered more hours and also being offered landscaping jobs at his personal residence. Number 3, dedication. You have to be dedicated to your financial goal, and if you are truly dedicated, you will adopt some principles of being disciplined.
And for my dedication and wanting to help you, please consider subscribing, commenting, liking this video.
Anyways, what was I saying?
Just because you see your bank account at the highest it's ever been does not mean it's time to spend all of that hard work. It's true, money is hard work, and for as hard as you work for it, you should not be willing to give it up that easily, especially for minor instant gratifications that will decrease in value. The goal should be to one day make your money work for you to the level that the interest from your investments can help you afford any lifestyle that you wish to have. Number 4, monitor. You should be monitoring every single cent and dollar that you spend and earn every single day. After 30 days, you will have a log that will make your financial situation very clear. This is a great way to pinpoint negative spending habits and to outline on paper how much you're really spending on things that may not represent a lot of value to you. Is your gym membership worth $60 a month? Is it worth paying $100 a month for cable, while you're also paying for a Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, and a Hulu subscription? If you can easily afford that lifestyle, that's fine, but realize when you're being excessive and making yourself hurt financially for a low return on investment. I personally don't have any subscriptions or cable. I work out at home and I use YouTube and try to spend my time reading books with the occasional, video games. So once you learn to live with low expenses, you can truly start maximizing how much you are able to save each month. Number 5, debts. The absolute worst thing for trying to build wealth is continuously paying interest on bad debt. And I say bad debt in the sense that it is not the type of debt that can earn you money. Examples of good debt would be a business loan to expand or build a business, a loan to purchase a real estate investment property. The key here is that good debt has a return which outweighs the interest that is being paid. Examples of bad debt would be you're probably buying a car which you do not need. Personally, my vehicle costed me $6,200, which I paid in cash, but even with $100,000, I do not feel like I should have spent more than I did for my vehicle. My vehicle has less than 90,000 miles and it has been reliable with no underlying issues. Another example of bad debt would be credit card debt or anything that has a zero financial return. Don't misunderstand this as all credit cards are bad, which goes into the next subject I use to help me build wealth. Number 6, credit cards. When I started my financial journey, I had a 0 credit score, which I knew was a mistake if I ever wanted to purchase a home with a competitive interest rate and without a large down payment. After doing some research, I had learned how beneficial credit cards can be for building wealth. A lot of credit cards offer deals like $500 cash back after being in use for 3 months with $1,500 in purchases. But you do need to be aware that there are credit cards out there which have unnecessary fees such as an annual fee. There are plenty of credit cards that do not have any annual fee and they are 100% free to use and are only beneficial if used correctly. So you ask, how can you use a credit card correctly for your financial benefit? It's actually very simple. Get a credit card with a cashback bonus. For example, one of mine has a 2% cashback on all purchases, so basically everything I purchase with that credit card is 2% off. It's literally free money. And since you are now monitoring your expenses, you will know to not spend more than what you can afford in order to pay your credit card in full every time you use it. Although you can pay just the minimum to avoid interest, I would highly recommend just budgeting and spending only what you can afford. See, the only way a credit card works at your disadvantage is when you're paying an annual fee or you fail to make your payments on time, which in turn you'll be paying interest. Use the credit card correctly and you will actually save money and build a healthy credit score at the same time. Number 7, investing. You absolutely should not just keep saving and saving your money and have it sit in a bank sitting in some savings account earning 0.01% interest a year. It is a very big mistake that must be avoided as you are actually losing value of your money due to inflation. The greatest tool for the average person investing would be a low-cost index fund of the S&P 500. With that investment, you don't need to know anything about your investment, as index funds are just an overall performance of the market, which continuously grows every year. If you feel like you want to be more hands-on with your investments, take on more risk with the chance of a higher reward, you can consider learning about real estate investing or direct stock ownership or buying or starting a business offering products and or services. Number 8, employee benefits. Anything helps. How could you ever say no to free money? If your employer is offering an IRA or 401k matching of any sort, you need to take advantage of this. Let's say it's a 5% match and you only contribute 5%. You are literally doubling your money. It's a very good return on investment. For example, after 2 years, my IRA had roughly $6,500 and I've only contributed about $3,000 of my own money. Number 9. Increase your income. Obviously, one way to help build your wealth is to become more valuable in the marketplace, which in turn equals more demand for your services, which then equates to a higher income. This is very obvious, so I'm talking about it last. But what isn't obvious is the ways true wealth is built, and it is more about the disciplines and action rather than the amount. See, there are doctors and lawyers with very high incomes, but they spend almost everything they make. And if they lost their job, aka their income, there is a high probability they would be forced to liquidate a lot of their things or potentially face bankruptcy within just a few months. So if you're serious about building wealth, I would highly recommend reading the short book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Samuel Clayson.
Link is in the description.
It is a very easy and enjoying book to read as it's written in a story form, and I guarantee you it will absolutely change your perception on money, which I believe is nothing short of one of the greatest, if not the greatest tool mankind has ever invented. I will recite the 5 laws of gold, which is outlined in that book. So the 5 laws of gold are: 1. Gold comes easily and in increasing quantity to the person who saves at least 1/10 of their earnings. 2. Gold labors diligently and multiplies for the person who finds it profitable employment. 3. Gold clings to the protection of the person who invests their gold with wise people. 4. Gold slips away from the person who invests gold into purposes through which they are not familiar. 5. Gold flees the person who tries to force it into impossible earnings. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this video was of value to you. If you enjoyed it, don't be afraid to comment, subscribe, and absolutely
destroy that like button.
Till next time.